Well, Season 5 comes down to this. If we win or draw today, we secure 5th place in the league. We've got a game against Basel, so it's going to be a tough match. Let's see how we get on. Roll that title. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 25 of the Liechtenstein Challenge, here with Vaduz. And as I mentioned in the intro, we have a game against Basel. Usually I would have the schedule or the league table up, but I want to leave that as a surprise going into the next section of the video. So we've just got the pre-match press conference to get on with, and then we get straight into the Basel game. I will show you how the schedule has gone with the rest of the regular season, and then where we finished in the regular season before the league split. And then I will show you the games that we played in the championship group and how we line up for today in terms of the league table and as well as the tactic for the match. I'll also show you the transfers that we've made in between the last episode and this one. One has been a loan signing and the remaining have been youth players. So let's update you. So since the St. Gallen game, we have only lost 3 matches in that period. The 3 teams that we lost to were Lugano, Thun and Basel. The remaining fixtures we won and drew. We started off with a victory against Stade Lausanne Ushi. 1 goal thanks to an own goal, funnily enough. We were struggling to score goals in this match, but I believe we deserved it based off the shots and what we had on target. But yeah, a good 3 points to start us off. Then a disappointing defeat to Lugano. We didn't really play particularly well in this match. Then a 1-1 draw to our bogey team at the moment, Lausanne. I don't think we've, if I'm not mistaken, we've not beat these since we've been in the Challenge League. And then a surprising 3-1 victory away to Young Boys. I'm going to show you the match here. So in the first half, in the first minute actually, Amiri scores a goal for Young Boys. Really poor defending from ourselves, but we did counter this for a goal from Belair. Salel passes it in and Belair's got a free chance to score. Really deserved that. Then in the second half, our new signing, Shernadua, scores an absolute screamer, putting us 2-1 ahead. And then in the 86th minute, Rajkovic goes on a really good solo run here. 3 players after him, 4, and then he just gets the ball in the net and we win 3-1. Then after the Young Boys game, we had a home tie against Winterthur, which we won 2-0 thanks to goals from Picasso and Siddiqui. Unfortunately, we had a 2-0 defeat to Thun after this match, and then a 1-1 draw to Lausanne, which we really deserved to win, in my opinion. Goal from Rajkovic from our side, and Jamie Rocher equalising for Lausanne. Then a disappointing away tie to Basel. We lost this 3-0, and we probably deserved to lose the game, but really disappointing in terms of our good run that we've been on. Then it was a comfortable 6-1 victory against Rigel in the semi-final of the Liechtenstein Cup. Goals from Feniger, Stoll and Stefan. Discern scoring for Rigel. And our final game of the regular season had a home tie against Servette. We won this 3-0 thanks to goals from Rajkovic, Bella and Nadua. So after 33 games, we find ourselves on 51 points with 14 wins, 9 draws and 10 defeats. That has put us into 5th position, which is massive for us after our last year in the relegation fight. And we are going to go into the championship group where we are only 4 points off Young Boys and 2 points off Zurich. So we've got a really good chance to get into those top 4 positions. Obviously, we won't get Europe because we are a Liechtenstein club, but we will get the money from those league positions, which could be huge going forward. Just before we get into the championship group stage and the schedule for that group stage, I just wanted to show you a couple of signings that we made prior to this episode. and a couple of incoming transfers that we are going to make that will come in next season. So the first signing that we made, this was just before the transfer window closed, was Cher Nadua from PSG on loan until the end of the season. He has been a fantastic little player for us. Has only played 11 games, but has done really well in the time that we've had him. Unfortunately, he got an injury and is not going to be available for the Basel game today. His contract does run out at the end of the season, and I would love to sign him, but unfortunately, he does not want to come. So we will move on from Nadua. But something I'm going to potentially look at next season is the loan market, because he's done really well, and I'm going to keep an eye on him to see how he gets on um, after this spell at Vaduz. Our second signing was Dick Oudendijk from AFC Ajax, and this player looks like he's going to be a very good player for the future. He's also 6'4", and AFC in particular do produce a lot of good new gens I've found on the game. I'm very impressed with him so far, and yeah, he's one for the future. And as I was mentioning in the last episode, with the departure of Simbakoli, we've got a lot of good up and coming young strikers. Hopefully, the likes of Oudendijk and the other players that we've got in the under 21 team, we can potentially have a bit of a striker farm at the moment, so we might have a bit of a problem in the coming seasons. Who knows? But the main thing from this is to try and get them into the Liechtenstein national team. Fingers crossed. Anyway, a good signing nonetheless. And finally, we signed Andre Akinheel from Young Boys. The main reason I wanted to sign this guy is he was a Liechtenstein footballer, Liechtenstein nationality, and he looks okay. I've shoved him straight into the second team. Hopefully, he can maybe develop a little bit better. But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm trying to sign Liechtenstein players is to develop them and get them better in terms of Vaduz and Liechtenstein, the national team as a whole. So hopefully, at the moment he doesn't look very good, but hopefully he can develop into a really good player, or a good player for Liechtenstein at least. And in terms of pre-contract signings, obviously you know Burkhardt is going to be coming in. I mentioned that in the last episode. We have made a move for Yields Araji. I'm going to go with that. If I get it wrong, let me know in the comments. We need a younger left back, and he fits the bill perfectly. Just because I believe Kajewski is probably not going to sign a new deal at the end of the year. I want him to get him onto like a squad player / impact sub, but he wants obviously important player because he's played a lot of games. And just looking at him, the only thing that maybe worries me a little bit is the composure, but overall I think he could potentially be a really good wing back for us, and the fact that he's 22, I'm hoping that he can develop into a good player, and potentially, as I mentioned with Oudendijk, he can become a Liechtenstein national. That's the reason why we're trying to pick up these types of players, is to hopefully develop them and get them into the Liechtenstein national team. As well as that, we signed Austin Sani from a Nigerian team, Gombe United, and another striker that's going to come in, 18 years old, so a little bit younger than his Dutch counterpart. But this is more competition for the likes of Bella and Feniger, who are Liechtenstein nationals. It's to try and encourage a bit more competition, because we've got a number of strikers now that are under the age of 21, 22, and it's going to put pressure on them, I hope, and hopefully we can develop them into goal scorers. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the signing. We signed him on a trial, and I like the look of him, and for a free, I don't think he's that bad of a signing. I'm just going to go into a little bit of the squad analysis for now, and then we'll get into the youth intake, and then we'll go into the fixtures and the championship group stage as it's showing right now. I just wanted to maybe go through some things that may be happening in the off season between this episode and the next episode. So just a couple of things I wanted to bring to your attention. So the first one is Yanis Latihi, obviously on a contract till 2029. However, he has been getting a lot of interest from bigger clubs in Europe, and I do suspect that we may lose Latihi. He also, I believe, if not mistaken, he hasn't played for Switzerland yet, but I suspect Switzerland will eventually pick up him. Also, I think somebody will come in with an offer for him this summer. We have got a value on him at 13.75 million. I want a lot of money for Latihi if he wants to go. The only thing is that we have to worry about is potentially his contract is due to expire in 2029, so we need to keep that in mind. But potentially one of our casualties. I'm just going to go into tours that I think potentially we may lose in the summer. I'm hoping that we don't, but I've just got that inkling in my mind that we will. The next potential departure, I think, in the summer might be Lacasso. Unfortunately, he's played for the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's very close to getting his Liechtenstein nationality and has been a really good player for us down the years. But I think this potentially could be another casualty. A Saudi Pro League club is actually interested in him, but I've seen a couple of clubs interested in Lacasso this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if he is another departure. I think potentially with Lacasso though, we will have the necessary cover, or we can find somebody better, in my opinion. But he's been a really good player, and I'd like to keep him for a couple of more years. It's just a shame he's got that those free caps from the Democratic Republic of Congo, because he'd make a great Liechtenstein international. And the only other player that I think may be departing, although it might be on my end, is Tom Ritzy Hulsman. Has done a job this season. I will give him that 6.9 rating. Very close to completing his Liechtenstein nationality, which may be the reason why I keep him. But I've seen a couple of teams also interested in Hulsman. And as well, I'm just looking at his stats for a goalkeeper, and there's a couple of stats that he just hasn't improved on, like his kicking, for example. He is starting to improve here and there. Obviously, the 6'9" in goal is fantastic for a goalkeeper. I'm just a little bit weary about him next year. I'm not desperate to sell him, but if a club does come in for him, I will have to consider that. There is plenty of good goalkeepers that are out there, though, if that happens. Holzman's probably the least likely of the two that I've mentioned, but I just wanted to bring you a bit of an update in terms of the squad analysis. And we've also had our youth intake day. Unfortunately, it's not particularly great. The only two real key players that I like the look of are Marco Wagner, 15 years old, unfortunately unambitious, but he has got potential. So hopefully we can get rid of that personality trait. And then as well, Elias Stricker, who is a DM, another unambitious player. I'm kind of worried that we're getting a lot of unambitious players for a head of youth development who is a perfectionist. This may be his last season, but we have improved facilities, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt. The rest of the players haven't really been particularly great. I mean, there's Sasha Denif, Kohler, Hartman, who looks okay, to be fair. Potentially somebody to develop. I do like the 15 technique on him. Sortler as well. Maybe somebody that can develop down the line. Sebastian Algarim. I think that's how you say him. Looks okay in terms of a winger, but nothing fantastic. And then finally, Christian Schaffer. Maybe somebody that can develop, but I'm not holding out for any of these good talents. The remaining players, there's nothing really much to shout about. Anyway, let's show you the fixtures from the Championship group phase and show you how the league table is looking. So after the Servette game, unfortunately, our form just went a bit skyrocketing. We haven't won a game, unfortunately, in the Championship group. We got a draw against Zurich in the first game. A lot of these games we deserved to win the match. Like, for example, with this one against Zurich, I thought even though we conceded in the first minute, we had a lot of shots on the Zurich defence. And if it wasn't for their two central defenders and goalkeepers, we would have won this game comfortably. Tihi there getting an 89th minute draw for us, which was decent, I suppose. But yeah, it was a really annoying result, this one. Then a 2-1 defeat to Servette. This was another game you can see from the stats. I don't know how we lost this game. Servette managed by former Chelsea manager Andre Villas-Boas, of all people. And as you can probably see in the bottom left-hand corner there, their defence was insane. I really don't understand how we lost this game, but you know, if we don't put the ball in the back of the net, we ain't gonna win. So I mean, a goal from Rajkovic, but they had two goals in the second half, which really one of them was before half time. Sorry, the second goal in the second half wasn't particularly a great goal to concede. And then after that, we welcomed St. Gallen, who were crowned champions of the Swiss Super League. And as you can see, yet again, I don't know how we did not win this match. 22 shots, 7 on target. They had 4 on 2, respectively, for them. I think it was Lawrence Ziggy who basically saved them from any single chance that we had. Latihi had a 7 rating and still didn't score a goal. I don't know how that happened. Our midfield was on fire. Our wing backs were really good. Wingers probably let us down, but still, we should have won this match. And unfortunately, our last game before the Basel match, we lost 3-0 to Young Boys, which wasn't particularly great. As you can see, they dominated the match, and we just didn't turn up for this game, which is annoying. That has put us on a course for finishing 5th in the league. So as you can see, St. Gallen on 80 points, Basel on 73, Young Boys on 62, Zurich on 57, ourselves on 53 points, and Servette on 50. In terms of the relegation group, Luzern are in 7th on 54, Lausanne on 49 in 8th, Winterthur 42 in 9th, and Stade Lausanne Ushi in 10th on 41 points. Lugano are going to play in the relegation playoff. Thun are relegated to the 2nd division. So the champions from last year have been relegated. So the only thing we can do today is confirm 5th place. Obviously, if Servette win their game, and they win it comfortably, to be fair, they've got to probably score 15 goals and hope we concede 5 for us to finish 6th. Disappointing that we couldn't finish 4th. Obviously, we wouldn't get the European places because we are a Liechtenstein club, and Liechtenstein teams cannot win the Swiss Super League or qualify for Europe unless they win the Liechtenstein Cup. But it would have been nice to finish 4th and get that extra money in terms of the league position. But we will try our best today to finish 5th. And yeah, let's get into this Basel match. Here we are for the game against Basel. I just wanted to show you the tactics. We've went with our trusted 4-3-3 formation. I've just made some slight changes to the team just based off the Young Boys match. So Segura, Rocher, Keller, Isik, Debachki, Seller, and Feniger come into the team. I put Latihi on the left-hand side for a change, just because Rajkovic in that last game didn't do particularly well, and obviously Seller can't play on the left-hand side at the moment. Hopefully we can change that in the near future. As well, Latihi hasn't been scoring many goals this season compared to last year, which has been a bit disappointing. So I've decided to just put him on the left. Give Feniger that chance. We've got Boyer, Siddiqui, Messinero, Kidziewski, Lacasso, Goliard. Nataro is back, and he's been back for a while since his injury. Rajkovic and Bella on the bench. There's nobody in particularly massive that is missing out. Maybe Fabio Fair and Karoshia is the only exceptions. I'm just going to get straight into the opposition instructions, and then we'll get straight into this match. This is it, the end of Season 5. We are at home to Basel, and as you can see, our form hasn't been particularly great in the last 5 games. Basel's have been a little bit better. They're going with their 4-2-3-1, two defensive midfielders. And let's see how we get on. Hopefully we can confirm 5th place today. I think we will. But it'd be nice to end the season with a win. And hopefully we can proceed to go on and yeah, get a good performance at the start of next season to get us into Europe. Hopefully that will be the case. We are kicking off at the moment. Nice ball to Celia there from Segura. Can we do anything from this? No, we cannot. Looks like Basel are going to get an early chance. Schmid with the free kick. Balud. And it's a great start, but it might be offside. Tepanki there. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they've given it. It looked offside, to be fair, but maybe he's held his run really well there. Yes, he has, because it looks like... I can't click on the player. Who was keeping him on? Tabachki? Yeah. Tabachki is keeping him on side. So that's a brilliant start for us. Obviously not. That's not the case. I have gone with a cautious mentality against Basel just because I think we went with the sort of positive mentality against young boys and it didn't particularly play out very well. So it is what it is. But and of course they get another chance now. Velga, Panky, Waslem. Kala trying to tackle. Doesn't do a very good job. Can we counter down now though? Seller finds Lampert. Latihi. Got a lot to do. I didn't expect very much from that. We have got a corner though. Segura with the corner. We've got plenty of bodies in and it's over the bar. Unfortunate. I think that's where we were better on against the bigger teams, is going on the sort of counter attack. But as I said, Feniger's got a big season next year. Same with Bella. There's a lot of, and Latifi for that matter, there's a lot of strikers coming through the ranks. I'll hold off on that conversation as Segura takes a free kick and it goes over the bar. Yeah, I think those three strikers in particular, if Latifi stays, he's got a big season ahead of him next year, I would say. Same with the two Liechtenstein players that I mentioned, Feniger and Bella. They need to step up as there is a lot of strikers that are coming through. They may be foreign players, but they're still looking very good in terms of potential. So they need to step up if they want to stay in the team. Basel on the attack here, and it should have been 2-0 to them there. Luckily, it goes over the bar. We have played better though since going 1-0 down. As soon as I said that, Basel have got a corner. It's a great attempt, but Holzman makes a good save. Basel in the ascendancy here. Maybe go a little bit more direct with our passing, I think. Even, yeah, our possession's down to 39%, so it's not good. Throw in from Velga. Waslem. Carboni to Schmid. So a good attack this from Basel. Free header. Not playing it very comfortably late, are we? I think some changes may be coming in the second half. Especially if something happens here. I thought that might be a penalty. Salah, Latihi not having a good game. Isik not having a good game. Segura not having a good game. Although I don't think it's Segura's fault, really. Somebody's upset them because they're all upset. A majority of them are upset. That should have been 2-0 to Basel. Should be 2 or 3-0 up now, Basel. What was your Rego being anxious doesn't really fill me with confidence, I must admit. What I'm going to do, I know I said it wasn't Segua's fault, but he's not fit, and Kajeski can go there for his last game at the club. To be honest, potentially it could be Nico Segua's last game in a Vaduz shirt that as well. I forgot I mentioned that he might be out of contract at the end of the season. I'm going to put Latihi there. I'm going to put Tobias Feniger on the left. I'm going to at least give him 60 minutes or so. Yeah, that's the only change I'm going to make. I was going to bring Lacasso on, but I think the only change we'll make is Kijoweski, just because of his throw-ins ability. As soon as he says that, as soon as I say that, he's got a chance, and the Tiki could have scored there. Doesn't do very well. Sella on a yellow card now. Just looking at 3 potential changes, I think, or 4. Debachki, I'm looking at Isik, Stella, Feniger. We're getting them a lot more chances now. I'm going to encourage them. I think we will proceed with those changes, though. Lampert is struggling a little bit, I must admit. Lacasso's going to come on. And do you know what? I'm going to keep Debachki on. Goliard's going to come on. And we're going to take off Salia as well. And we're going to bring on my trusted Polish man, Rajkovic. I think we'll give Feniger the chance. I said 60 minutes, isn't it? He's not done particularly well. Can't shout anymore. Kijoweski with a throw-in anyway. Feniger, Rego, Goliard, Castle. Can we find a ball maybe? Russia. Battle of Castle. Plays it to Rego. Can Rego find a pass? Maybe? No. Plays it back to Russia. Rajkovic. Loses the ball. Really poor that from Rajkovic. 2 is in. Should be 2-0 to Basel. We're still in this game. And we're still going to finish 5th in the league, even though Servette are winning. I thought the goal difference would take account, so it's not head-to-head. And Lacasso's lost the ball again there. Schmid. Yeah, that's been coming. Leon Abdelalou. I think I pronounced that right. Let's bring on Nataro. Just give him a chance. Might as well. Looks like it's not going to be our day, ladies and gentlemen. We've done alright against Basel, but I think they're one of the teams where they seem to have just way too much quality. I mean, Young Boys are like that, and we seem to get a result against Young Boys, but Basel are just, I think, in a way, they're a little bit better than Young Boys at the moment. Looks like it's going to finish 2-0. Unfortunately, a couple of players have let us down today, which is a shame. But what I will say when we get to the final whistle here, which we have 2-0 to Basel there. Sorry about that, guys and gals. We were not good enough today. What I can say though is to finish 5th in our second season in the Swiss Super League, I think that's a very good achievement. And we've ended it on positive goal difference. We've finished above the likes of Servette, Luzern, Lugano, who is a very rich team in terms of their finances. Lausanne, Winterthur, Stade Lausanne, Ushi, Thun as well. And we've just come short against Zurich as well. Only 4 points off Zurich. So, I can't really complain that we finished fifth this year. Obviously, the goal every season now is going to be to consistently stay in the league and just get that European football. We need to find a way. We did it in the I think it might have been in my third season where we got into Europe and we got into the league phase. And we need to do that more. Unfortunately, the teams that we're playing are just a little bit better than us, unfortunately. But we have received 259k for achieving a fifth place finish in the Swiss Super League. The board, I believe, are going to be absolutely delighted, which they are. And the goals for the club, which I really do like, are to avoid relegation from the Super League. That's what I like to see. So continuously, if we can do that. And just before we go, I wanted to show you the Liechtenstein Cup final. You thought I forgot, but no, I did not. We won this 4-1 thanks to goals from Debatki, Oidendenk, and Bakker. Wonderelli, I think that's how you say it. I hope that's how you say it. Maurice will go with that for Eschen Marin. And we have secured our fourth Liechtenstein Cup in 4 years after that really embarrassing first season in the Liechtenstein Cup. Balzers won that, but it's another victory for us in the Liechtenstein Cup, which means we get qualification to the Conference League next season. Let's hope we can go one better and get to that league phase. End of season 5 there. I can't complain, even though we lost the match to Basel there, that we finished fifth in the league against so many regulars in the Swiss Super League. Hopefully next season we can continue this and go maybe one better and finish in the top 4 or top 3 of the Swiss Super League. But at the end of the day, the goal will be to continuously just stay up in this league, because we can't win the Swiss Super League since we are a Liechtenstein team. And yeah, the goal will be next season to get into that league phase of the Conference League. Fingers crossed we get a good draw. Next video will probably be the same as last season, where I show you how the season's progressed, and hopefully we're in the last qualifying round like we did against Viking. Hopefully this time, though, we can get through that league phase. If you have enjoyed the episode and the series so far, please make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Thanks very much to everybody so far who's liked, commented, and subscribed on any of the videos. Take it easy, stay safe. Bye, everybody.